Yo, it's your boy AJ. I'm here with Rage. Oh my God, Boston just owned Milwaukee. We're gonna talk about it. Don't hit that skip. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. You're now tuned in to Hoops World.
Hoops World.
James. Right here, the king is like, hey, guess what? I'm still the king.
I hit the streets just to get a bag. I pack, he got toe tagged. I punched the nigga for shorty. I'm John Woo with the 40. You not gang nor the homie. Don't blow me, no, you don't know me. Gang shit, members only. You wasn't there, I was lonely. You wasn't there, I was lonely. Dog nights, blicky on me. I was just stacking my commas up. Head down, trying to run it up. These niggas be steady, be clocking.
Yeah, man. This is the first game that wasn't a banger for us. We've been on a streak, bro. We've been on a streak, and this is the game that was not a banger. This was a blowout.
Surprisingly, I mean, you had number 1 seed, number 2 seed, and it was a 41-point loss from Milwaukee.
It had the formula to be a great game, and it just didn't end well for the.
It looked good in it looked good in the first quarter.
Oh, exactly. So we're gonna start there in the first quarter, man. 9 lead changes in that first quarter. So this is why when I put on this game, I was like, "This is gonna be good." I texted you, I was like, "This is gonna be good." 9 lead changes. Now, 24 of Boston's 34 points came from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. We gotta talk about Jaylen Brown in this first quarter. Oh my God, he was cooking. Incredible in that first quarter. 17 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 7 for 9 from the field, 3 from 3. It was magical. Talk about Jaylen Brown, bro. What was he just? Why couldn't the Bucks just? What were the Bucks doing? Like, why couldn't they stop him?
Bro, it's insane. Every time I watch Jaylen Brown in these games, he's always the one to start off hot. When the last time we broke down the Celtics, they played the 76ers, and Jaylen Brown was the one who was leading that first quarter. Yeah. He goes down and he's hitting his shots. He attacks early. It's usually him too. It's usually Jaylen Brown who starts it off rather than Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And he's hitting the shots, he's driving, he's attacking, and his threes are going down.
Yeah, because I remember the announcer saying this, that Tatum has been struggling from 3 lately. Like, he hasn't been shooting well from 3 ever since the All-Star break and a couple past games. So, like you said, Jaylen Brown's always been running the charge. Now, it was a neck-and-neck game in that first quarter, and during the end of that first quarter, I remember the Celtics going a little bit of run. I think Tatum had a quick, nice in-and-out layup, and then he hit a 3. And then we're like, whoa, okay, Tatum's starting to wake up. But then the quarter ends, and it's 34-26. So the Bucks are still in range in that first quarter. We get to the second quarter, and this is where the game was blown wide open. Celtics go on a 29-9 run. Jason Tatum kind of took the momentum he had in that first quarter, the end of the first quarter, and he just went crazy and was cooking in this. He was like, okay, Jaylen Brown, you cooked in the first, let me cook in the second, because I got this. And then he just destroyed. Talk about what did Milwaukee do? I mean, I know they missed shots because they had 10 straight missed shots. 41 second quarter points for the C's. What was Milwaukee like? What do you think? If I'm a Milwaukee fan, I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan, like, what could I have done to stop this in the second quarter? What could have Bud done to adjust, do you think, to stop just?
I guess the problem was they were in the zone that we were talking about earlier. And when every time Giannis had the ball, they were focusing on him, right? And every time Giannis would like drive, they'd form a wall. Yeah. And they'd kick it out to the shooter, and Giannis would kick it out to the shooter because obviously it'd be a wall formed and he wouldn't have anywhere to go. He'd pass it out, brick. Pass it out, next possession, brick. And the Celtics were going down and hitting their shots.
Yeah.
I mean, they were 51 point. They shot 51.2% from beyond the arc tonight. They were 22 of 43. Then you go on Milwaukee's side, they were 14 of 43, 32.6%. Giannis was kicking it out mostly, and the shots weren't falling.
Yeah, because we look at this video right here, the 3-2. Like you said, they created that wall, and I think the Boston was like, the game plan was like, okay, we're gonna stop Giannis first. If the other guys go off, fine. We're just gonna close out hard and put a hand up, for Brook Lopez or Drew or whoever gets the open 3. But that 3-2 right here, this zone, or this is either a matchup zone probably. You could still see that once Giannis drives, Al Horford is on him, and then this closeout was a great closeout right here because that's Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez could shoot like he's a good 3-point shooter. So it's kind of like they were just kind of working like you said, the wall formula, where we see this constantly every playoffs. Everybody talk whenever you play Giannis, build the wall, build the wall, build the wall. So it's like if I'm a Bucks fan, how can I how do I get over that? You know, because this could be a preview of the Eastern Conference Finals. So if I'm a Bucks fan, I'm worried like this might affect us. You know, watching Boston's defense like this might affect us going forward.
You have to do is you have to. They had shots. They weren't hitting them. They weren't hitting them. And the thing is, it's like you have to figure out something else. Like if the threes aren't open, maybe you try and have Giannis feed the ball off to Drew Holiday and try to make him work.
Yeah.
And try to set up something else rather than have Giannis just drive to the paint every time.
Yeah,
because you saw what happened. I mean, they were doing that essentially the whole game, and it wasn't working because every time Giannis would have the ball, he'd drive to the paint, a wall would form, nothing would be open, and you'd have to kick it out. A shooter would be open or not, but they'd shoot it and they would make it. And that was the thing the whole game. And they were on a stretch where it was like they missed like 18 out of their like last 20 shots, and it was insane, and it seemed like it was all threes that they were taking. All three.
They were so trigger happy. I think they fell in love with the three too much because they were shooting way too many threes. I know Chris Middleton ended up going out in the third quarter when he got hit, but like I said, it was 75-47 at halftime. The game was like, we're just gonna talk about that because the game was over after the second quarter. But bro, it's like they gotta use Giannis different. I think. Let me know if I'm wrong on this. They gotta use Giannis in different ways because like try to post Giannis up. Try to put him in that high post. It's like I know Boston was playing that really, really wall kind of defense, but you got to find a way to break that. You know,
if that doesn't work, don't go to it the whole game, especially if your shooters aren't hitting. If your shooters are hitting, then you can keep going to it because your shooters are hitting and it's working.
Yeah.
And you know, who knows? Maybe the other coach is bad and they won't adjust and they'll just keep doing that same play style and stick in that zone, and you just keep it, and they just keep breaking it because the shooters are making their shots.
Yeah.
Right. But like you said, if that's not working, you have to use Giannis in different ways.
Yeah.
Have Drew Holiday bring up the ball.
Screens,
use him a little bit more.
Yeah, DHO screens, get Giannis more involved in action instead of like the typical, you know, Giannis just drives and does his Euro and tries to kick out, like, you know, do something else, you know, do something else.
Yeah, and this is how you know that wasn't working. Giannis shot 3 free throws and made 2 of them. He shot 3 free throws this whole game.
So this might be a formula for if you're in the playoffs and you're trying to shut down Giannis, because, you know, and this is what I like about the officiating tonight, because and this is the key for officiating in the playoffs. Usually they let guys, you know, it's not going to be an easy foul. You know, the usual foul merchants that we see get tons of fouls during the season don't get their regular calls. So if Giannis is not going to the line, that's a bulk of his points. You know, that's a bulk of his points. It can get really bad. It can get really bad. But yeah, so going forward, man, with Boston, if you're a Boston fan, how do you feel, bro? Like, can this team go to the finals? With this roster, are they finals ready? You know, I mean, they think about the hurdles, but the Bucks will be there a hurdle, and Philly would probably be another hurdle for them. But what do you think about this Boston team going forward?
Yeah. If Tatum is playing the way he did tonight, I mean, you have the formula of stopping Boston. I mean, you saw what happened last year as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, Boston's been getting better. Yeah. Right? They got better. Obviously, the Bucks got better, but they're still doing the same stuff, right? It's just using Giannis. You're just giving him the ball and having him go to the paint. And like we've been saying, if you have that formula that's going to stop Giannis, which was obviously forming the wall, and the shooters aren't hitting, that's the way to stop it.
Yeah.
And you're looking really good if you're the Celtics, because if I'm a Celtics fan, there's no other team I think has a chance against us than Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's a fact. And one other key point I want to bring out, Robert Williams is very key for the Celtics too. I know what's his stats, but I know he doesn't stuff the stat sheet. But what he does on the offensive glass, his rim protection, it's very, very, very key for Boston being as good as they are. I mean, they're still a very deep team. But Robert, he's a very important part with his rim.
Yeah, he's a huge hustle guy. He had 7 points. He had 7 rebounds. He had 4 offensive rebounds.
He was key for that build up in the second quarter. But the reason why they scored like 40 in the second quarter or something like that is because of Robert Williams was getting
4 blocks. He had 4 blocks.
4 blocks, and he was getting a ton of offensive rebounds, which was leading to kicking out to JT, kicking out to JB, and they was hitting. So he's very key for them too, man.
Yeah, and he's gonna and any of those Milwaukee centers like you saw like Brook Lopez.
Yeah,
he's gonna have that edge against Brook Lopez, given how he's faster. He moves way quicker than he does.
Yeah.
He's more athletic.
Good on the switch. Boston switches everything because they got the personnel switch.
Yep.
But going from the Bucks side of things, if I'm a Bucks fan, again, I'm not totally worried because I still can go to I'm still the 2 seed. I still can go to the.
You're still the 1st seed. You're still
the first seed. I'm sorry. You're still the 1st seed. You can go to ECF. You can go to ECF. You can still find a way to take Boston to 7 or take Boston to 6 games because you got Chris Middleton back. What are they? Last year they took them to 7 without Chris Middleton.
You can still win. Yeah. I mean, it's just a game at the end of the day. But it's just and I'm not like worried really. Like if I'd be a Bucks fan, because you can win. But I'd just be at the point where it's just like you saw what happened tonight.
Yeah.
You have to, when you play Boston again, if you see Boston again in the Eastern Conference Finals, which is very likely.
Yeah.
You have to figure out something else rather than just giving Giannis the ball and praying that he can go down the court and just eat and that he can kick out and all your shooters are hitting, because he had 3 free throws tonight.
Yeah.
And it's going to be worse in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you just have to figure out different ways in terms of scoring. Yeah.
No, that's facts, bro. Well said. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. Tell us in the comments what team you guys want us to cover next. Thank you guys for watching.